Welcome back to the GSL Code A.
Welcome back.
Kartosis
I got my
and Wolf.
cord stuck. All right, it's all fine now.
All right, here we are. It is the winner's match. It's between Younghwa and Stork. Not a big surprise, probably.
Yeah, definitely not. So it looks like Yuri is here to do something, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. I just realized I had a missed call from one of our producers during that break, so probably missed out on what that was going to be. But look, she's talking to Sue. That's actually your head in the way, not mine. I'm like trying to move my head to see if I can see his face, but yeah, it's Sue.
And then you were like, wait a minute, my head isn't moving. Wait a minute, I'm not that handsome.
Yeah, I was just only looking at Sue's face, but now I can see him. But anyways, I'm just like trying to listen to see if I can hear what he's saying. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our results so far today during this. Okay, so Stork versus Younghwa will be in the winner's match because Stork is able to beat Trust 2-0 and Younghwa being Fantasy 2-1. That's how we get there. And then in our loser's match, we'll have Trust versus Fantasy.
Well, you know, the Fantasy match was really fantastic. Trust just was completely outclassed by Stork. I'm hoping that Fantasy can take out Trust because, I mean, there were definitely some weaknesses in Fantasy's play, but can Trust take advantage of those? I'm not so sure. I do feel like it's going to be Fantasy in that final match. Who do you think wins between Stork and Younghwa?
That's actually a really good question. I can't make a very solid prediction here, but I would have to give an edge to Stork. Actually,
yeah, I would give an edge to Stork too.
Especially with how well he played against Trust. He just stomped it. It was no contest there.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you there. You know,
like if I'm Stork, honestly though, reasonably speaking, there are two other pros in the group, so you're probably preparing for pros more. Also, if I'm Stork, I'm thinking I don't think Fantasy is going to beat Younghwa, so I'm probably going to if I'm feeling good enough to win the first match in a PvP, I'm probably going to play a PvP again. So he's probably prepared PvP really, really well, more so than Younghwa.
Looked very good,
because sorry to cut you off. Younghwa had to prepare for pros versus Terran.
Yeah.
So he's already forced because he knows he's playing against a Terran to think about that. Now he's going to shift gears here. So that's one of the reasons I give him the edge here.
Okay, fair enough. I basically agree with that. I think that Stork also, based on those games, especially on Overgrowth, I think he only made one misstep the whole game, really. Other than that, I was like, oh, wow, this is just fantastic play that we're watching.
Yeah.
So, Younghwa, though, in the past has had very good PvP. He's actually, the guy that first started not four-gating. He was the first guy to really be like, hey, here's one way you can barely not 4-gate and barely hold it if you do it perfectly.
Yeah.
The 3-Stalker Rush.
Exactly.
That's actually his build that he made. So, he's definitely someone that has revolutionized and played very good PvP in the past. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what he is going to plot against Stork.
Yeah. Do you happen to remember off the top of your head the starting map? Because I have forgotten.
I do not remember.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see, because that actually factors in a lot into how these two are going to play. Because in PvP, there's a lot of mind games.
Yeah.
You kind of have to start things off in some way and lead your opponent to believe something else. If you're going to play a very aggressive 3-Stalker Rush or that kind of aggressive gateway opening, or even 3 gateway warp in pressure in a PvP in game number 1, you can do that on maybe a smaller map and make your opponent think you're going to be playing very aggressive and then play a macro game in game number 2. Stuff like that. So looks like we're going to get the reveal on that map in just a second here.
All right, let's see it. Younghwa against Stork. The winner goes to Code S. Merry-go-round. Okay.
Merry-go-round. This is pretty balanced all around. For late game, mid game, early game, whatever you want to play here.
Yeah, I don't like fast expanse in here PvP. The ramp is a little bit big. It's a little bit wonky to hold, I think. But I think Blink and Stargate are both really good openers.
Yeah. Basically, the build there are a few builds that are cut off of this map because it's a 3-player map. Proxies, cannon rushes, all sorts of early cheeses. I don't think either of these players would do that, although Younghwa did do a cannon rush on Frost. I think that was actually last season of Code A he did that. But, pretty unlikely here. The winner of this best of 3 will advance to Code S. It's one of the last 2 players to do so.
Starting over here in the top right of Merry-Go-Round, a legend from StarCraft 1.
Samsung Galaxy Khan Stork.
And over here at the bottom, in the middle.
Younghwa.
And
He always looks so tired every time he plays.
Wow. Yeah, I guess he's kind of a tired-looking guy.
He actually said in an interview that Keller and I were doing once a long time ago that he had a lot of problems with his eyes being dry, and it looks like that might still be affecting him a little bit. We have a 10 gate here.
Yeah, and if you just look at the positioning, even if you couldn't see the numbers, you know something's up because you don't ever position your buildings like that. This is a very aggressive opener. You know, we've seen a lot of 10 gate into Stargate builds, but we've also seen a lot of 10 gate into 3 gate builds, and for instance, Stardust did that quite a bit in the WCS EU round of 8 and up. And I think that that's probably what we're going to see here.
Sometimes you see 10 gate Oracle, super fast Oracle too.
Yeah. It's a good build. It is.
Because if you do that build, then you're usually going to get there before Phoenixes are ready, for example, and you don't have to worry about that sort of situation. That
is true, and it's a strong build, but based on where he put the gate, I don't like the Oracle opening as much as the Stalker opening. I think that, you know, with a gate like that, if you go open Oracle, there's always the chance that you have to fall back defensively, but Stalkers could hit that gateway from outside of Mothership Core range, I believe.
Yeah.
Which tells me that he probably wants to end this game almost immediately. Maybe it's just a 4-gate, man.
That would be crazy. I don't think I've seen that in a year in this matchup.
Yeah, you never really see it anymore. And the thing is,
look at that. Yeah, look at that Chrono Energy, 83.
Yeah, that has to be a 4-gate. This is a really strong build still. If you scout it quick enough, you can definitely hold it. Let's say you scout him first spot with a scout after the 2 gases, then you probably just add another gateway, make a bunch of Stalkers, and kind of micro heavily against your opponent and can hold it. But
the only way you can know the core timing, actually, in this case, is to actually count the probes, really. That's about the only way you can know at this late of a scout. You go over there, you're like, okay, this is not enough probes. You could also tell he only has 1 gas, which is a bit suspicious, but there are other builds that only have 1 gas. We've seen expand builds with this.
Well, with the Stalker already being out, the Chrono Boost there and only 1 gas.
I can't believe you made those 2 gates right then. He saw the probe before that.
I think, yeah.
That was actually pretty...
For Younghwa to do it like this, I would say he's basically, you know, this is well, I just have to execute this build perfectly.
Can still work. I mean, the gateway being added by Stork right now is pretty late. He's actually going to 3 of his own because he knows, you know, the Mothership Cannon can only buy him so much time. He needs to have these gates up after that.
Absolutely.
Oh, cannot lose this probe.
Oh my God. That's the biggest thing in the whole world if you get the probe.
Okay, he didn't get it.
The game is just yours at that point.
Ooh, nice to get some damage done on this Mothership Core. It's actually worth losing some hit points on that Stalker, actually, if he can get that Mothership Core down. Oh my God, he's actually keeping it out here.
Great micro. Fantastic micro
If he kills that, that's probably game.
He does need to keep that alive. You're very right about that. Wow.
One more shot, one more shot, one more shot, one more shot.
I don't think he gets it, yeah.
Doesn't have vision. 5 seconds left on energy here.
The thing is, he is going to be down in Stalkers pretty much no matter what here. But he has a Mothership Core, and he has his probes to work with.
That pylon is very exposed here. But, okay, there's the cannon. And Younghwa just needs to be on the edge here. Stork does not need to do anything cute or fancy trying to poke at those Stalkers. Just need to sit back under that cannon.
Well, he needs to warp in as many uses as possible. I love that he's gone for 4 gates. He has a decent probe count, and he needs to catch up in units. Look at this. He almost has already.
Yeah. I think 4 gates is pretty good counter. He's going to be able to, as a counterattack, deny a Nexus as well.
Look at this. He has 1 more Stalker, and he has the Nexus Cannon. I want to see him continue to poke a little bit here and just keep tabs on the units.
When you're actually ahead in units, or ahead in Stalkers, and you're ahead in range units, or even, you know, you can't poke like this. You don't have to worry about the range of the Nexus Cannon.
Oh man, this is actually going to be pretty close, I would say. But with the Mothership Core and probes, you should think that Stork is going to be able to take it.
Yeah, it's just all about micro here.
Yeah.
Good catch this pylon. Needs another volley. Doesn't get it. More warp-ins here for Stork.
All right, here we go. The Zealot's coming in as well, and he is going for it, pushing forward. Zealot's being eliminated very quickly. Takes on that Mothership Core as well. Very smart of him. And now targeting down Stalkers.
Yeah, targeting down each one individually just to make sure they're going down as quickly as possible to his Zealots. But it looks like Stork has enough here to hold. Question is, how many probes went down?
They're actually the same number of probes at this moment. So a pretty good hold by Stork.
There's
in fact, he has more units right now, and he's going to kill some pylons.
He has 2 gases.
And he already has a second gas.
He has 2 gases. He has just this massive army, he's going to be able to deny a Nexus across the map.
Yeah, he may be able to. If he just continually warps in units, he can just kind of walk across.
He's killing so many pylons, too.
Yeah, there's 2 more out on the map, even.
I mean, maybe Young was happy about that, because if he doesn't kill those pylons, then it's going to buy the pylons are buying him a lot of time, you know? If he kills the pylons, he's like, well, at least I can like hang on a little bit longer, try to get some units out.
I mean, they're kind of close right now, I guess.
A massive army supply lead, though.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure how he wants to come out of that. He has made a sentry here, and he's obviously going up for Blink, which makes sense. But I would assume that Stork may want to go Blink. So maybe he tries Robo or something like that. Like, we definitely might see another risk taken by Younghua here.
Yeah, well, he's going to lose his pylon, which will supply block him.
That screams DTs.
Yeah, that's like...
Because if you have that many Stalkers, like, it makes sense to go Blink, but maybe in Stork's position, he just goes straight Robo, because he's like, well, I'll get an Immortal and an Observer, and then you're not going to break me with your Blink. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, this is a gamble that could pay off.
Yeah, and look at this. Stork choosing the safest route, I would say.
Does not necessarily mean that he will have an Observer, but with that Sentry, that gives him a lot of flexibility, because he can DT, force heal the DT out. The Robo's going to be done before the Dark Shrine, so he can alter his path based on what he sees with that first DT.
Yeah, let's see what he goes for. Does start Blink. Makes a lot of sense to start Blink as well. Scouting Phoenix coming up. He's going to see that Robo and cringe a little bit.
There's a Blink coming up. So he can do both. If he does a lot of damage. The Blink is so... There's a few things that could happen with DT. Sometimes you kill the economy line, so you just get 4 Stalkers on your opponent because you have their economy over time. Sometimes you get force sealed out, but so is the army, and you just kill a bunch of Stalkers with your DT, and then you can win with a big Stalker follow-up. It's a pretty good move here. When you're on 2 bases like this, you can kind of afford that extra little research. He's already got a decent Stalker count on the map as it is. Not as good as Stork's, but still.
Yeah, well, when you have Blink, it doesn't need to be as good. It can be a bit less because you can't out-micro them so heavily. Now let's see, he should be warping in DT any second here. See if he can get
it on the
done,
second pylon so that it's a little bit closer.
Yeah, he hasn't warped in yet. Okay, there we go. It is coming in. I don't think it's going to do anything, though. There is an Observer sitting there.
Yeah, no, shouldn't be able to get anything done.
The thing is, he should be able to even get a kill on it. Oh, no, very swift move by Younghua.
Yeah, he didn't do what we saw against Fantasy, that DT that walked up and died.
Now from here, I would really like to see Stork just kind of macro up. He's getting +1, of course.
I would just like to see like cannons placed and just a counterattack and like start poking at that army with cannons up. DTs and Zealot run bys won't accomplish too much. He doesn't. I don't know if. Do you think he even noticed the DT?
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay. I mean, I guess the Observer would have seen it. I think he had enough vision for it. So.
Yeah, like he did. He shot it, but
yeah.
It wasn't like he attack moved it. But then his units moved a bit, so I think he did see it. He knows that DT tech is out.
So just an extra Observer and some cannons, I think, could be really good.
Yeah, if he doesn't get an extra Observer, he could be in some trouble here.
What do you think this pylon over the left is going for? Is he going to try to do like double Stargate Phoenix or something? What's he going to hide over there?
Oh, man. Well, no, I guess not, because he's going Colossus tech, but maybe that's just for the scout,
He's
right?
hiding the Colossus tech.
Oh, okay.
That is pretty cool.
Younghua playing very different from what we're used to.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to start changing things up, right?
Yeah. Stork continues to pump out Immortals. He's kind of playing it safe here.
DT drop.
This could
There's
do
only
some
one
good
Observer
damage
on the map, as far as I can tell.
And it's over towards the natural, so I feel like he's going to get a good 3-4 probes, get right out of there. Really good move, if so.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost him anything because he already warped the DT in earlier. Oh, look at that wall.
Oh, wow.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, not as much wow. A lot of damage, though. Lost mining time. 2 probes so far.
Good pull, though.
And he will just get right out of there, too.
Stalkers over here trying to get something done. It's actually all the 2 probes. So much mining time lost, actually, like you were saying.
Yeah. That was a very strong move. Stork is down probes just slightly. That's not the biggest deal, though. The lost probes, I would say, is a little bit bigger.
All right, well, I think he's just going to try to go for a 2 Colossus with ranged attack. 4 gates. This looks like how I used to play PvP in Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, it does kind of look like how Wings of Liberty PvP was played, but nowadays, you know, with that Mothership Core and Time Warps, with a bunch of Immortals, Charge-a-Lots, and Archons, definitely something that can be stopped. And he does add those cannons that you were talking about before as well.
Yeah, just for extra safety's sake.
In fact, a couple of them in the main.
You know, if you ever move out for any reason, which it looks like he's bound to do here, then having just cannons ready for DTs and Zealots is so important. You can actually go ahead and kill these pylons on the map too. Actually, looks like one of those might be... What is that floating around over there? Is that a Phoenix Scout?
You mean in the top center? That is actually a Warp Prism.
Ah, okay.
Just barely lived.
I was like, it's too slow. And he doesn't kill the pylon, which means there are those warping potentials, but with those cannons, I think you can feel pretty comfortable here. His own Warp Prism's coming out. I think Stork might just do a big attack here.
Yeah, possibly. Like, I think what Stork really should want to do is crush the army when it comes up. If he attacks up the ramp, that could be a real problem.
No, I think what I mean to say is I think he's going to attack the third base location. If there's nothing there, then that's fine, and then he can just keep it that way.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But to attack the army straight up, that would be a bit careless, especially because he's, I assume by now, seen the Colossus tech. Maybe not. There's good denies here on these hallucinations.
Yeah, it looks like he may have missed it, possibly.
He doesn't know. He's actually getting closer to attacking straight up. This could be a big mistake against 3 Colossi with Time Warp. Well, they both are going to have those Time Warps, which is going to be helpful. I guess, you know, Stork really needs a big concave. He needs to make sure that those Colossus hits are not hitting huge clumps of Zealots or anything like that. He needs a bunch more Immortals. He needs a Zealot surround, and also he would love to have, you know, flank with a Warp Prism, perhaps.
Yeah, that would be nice. It's, you know, when the battle actually gets going, if you drop some Zealots on top of those Colossi, it can mess up their firing quite a bit. They have to deal damage, obviously, very quickly as well.
Yeah. +2 is finishing here for Younghwa. Does Stork have the same? I believe
he has +2, just finished.
Okay.
Stork also with 3 observers. Trying to make sure DTs can't catch him off guard.
Yeah, it's a smart choice. I really like the cannons at home, too. He's poking around here. Zealot gets picked off, and misses the feedback.
A nice try there.
More DTs look like they got picked off there. I think he's going to lose that Warp Prism.
Yep, that definitely will be going down, but he's got more army supplies still. He's got a good about 13 more or so. Both players warping in quite a few units. He's got his hallucinating Colossi as well.
I don't know how effective that's really going to be with all these observers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess they step over everything, so it's going to be better than Archons in this case.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Good Time Warps by both players. Those Immortals still doing their damage, and the Archons really, really helping out. Can he actually get in there? Here come the Zealots. This is the dream, man, to come in on the flank like this. And that is going to be it. Stork is going to take this army out.
He certainly is, and rightfully so. Some great play from Stork this game. Younghwa with that failed 3-gate rush, but followed up with something pretty strong. It's just Stork had what he needed. 2-base Colossus timings generally don't work unless your opponent missteps quite a bit. Like, you can just get an army that looks like Stork's there, make it a concave, because they have to attack in you while you have a 3rd base. If it is, of course, a 2-base all-in, like Younghwa did there. Alright, so Stork taking that first game. 1 game away from going back to Code S, where he looked quite good last season, making it to the round of 16, and of course he did fall off, but he was looking good. He really did look good last season.
And while he was looking good last season in Code S, he was looking very good for the last run of Samsung and Pro League.
He certainly was.
I'm telling you, this team is going to be so good next year. I will say that until the end of time.
Well, until the end of next year.
Until next year when they start. And then, and then if they're really good, I'll say, see, I said, told you so. And if they're not, I'll say, I'll just be like, I'm really disappointed. But I'll admit defeat, though. Okay. Now, Sejong Station, very Younghwa-esque map to me.
Okay.
It says to me, all right, well, I just want to turtle up and get Colossi because that's what I do in almost every matchup. Let's see what Stork can get done here. It's also a possibility that Younghwa does something cheesy here on this two-player map. There's a lot of Warp Prism harass potential here as well.
Let's see what he can get done. It's Stork going up against Younghwa.